A few seconds, and it says we are live. Hello, everybody. Um, Hope it's not too bright behind me, but we're having a beautiful day here in Ashland, and it's been beautiful weather, even when it's cold and rainy. It it's just nice as well, you know. Then the sun comes out, and you have the clouds and the mist hanging in the mountains. Very magical. So thank you, everybody already here in chat who are joining me. I popped on really quick last night because I was just so excited to share the deck that I got yesterday, which was not at all in my periphery to get. I been kind of eyeing Olivia's Mermaid's Purse, but I thought, no, I'll just wait because I have a couple of other decks coming in. And I went to Sound Peace yesterday. The weather was so lovely too yesterday, so that Shannon and I decided to go. And of course, I can't walk by the tarot section, the oracle section, and not look. And I saw that they had Olivia's the Mind's Eye Tarot, and at this store, which a lot of stores don't do, they actually have a demo, so you can actually look at the cards. And I did not think this was going to be my type, my cup of tea or cup of coffee, because of all the eyes, but there was just something about the energy, the color, um, a lot of the cards that just really resonated, had just a beautiful little sparkle. I was trying to find the word last night because it was like zzz, but not like painful like zapping. It was just like a sparkle, if you can ascribe um you know uh, an action to it, a sensation to it. And so I did a quick flip through, and they are here. And the book I brought along with me because I love sharing, authors, their insights. And it is. Magus, did you say that you were going to have to get it, or did you already have it? And so I usually I like to pair a couple decks during readings, and I got called to do the Magical Botanical today. I'm looking at the cards, the energy, very similar. So, um, really excited about that. I was supposed to get another deck today, and then the original date was, between the 22nd and the 26th. And then they told me, no, you're going to get it today. And then late last night, they told me, no, you got to wait till Monday. So I will have, oh, you want it. So manifest, Vegas, manifest. So hopefully on Monday, I'll have a new deck to share. I have her Oracle and love it. Oh, thanks to Rome. Yep, Roma got that free as a birthday gift. How beautiful is that? Our community. And every time I get a deck, Roma's like, oh, what is that? I gotta get that. And then just like with Nancy and everybody else, they're like, Heather, do you have this deck? I'm like, no, because everybody has such a large collection of decks. For me, I don't know. I did a lot of spur of the moment. Well, I still kind of do spur of the moment deck purchasing. But during COVID, when we all had all that time on our hands, I kind of went a little hate. I don't want to say haywire, but I got into the spirit of purchasing decks. So I've noticed that before I moved here, I had to really rehome a lot of them. Some that I'm happy to rehome, and if they make it back into my collection, so be it. Some just really needed a permanent home. So um, my tastes are changing. I think that's because as you grow, you change your environment, you change your state of mind, you change your energy, different things. You evolve, and I've been gravitating towards. I mean, Seasons of the Witch, that type of folk American art, never resonated with me. But there's a beautiful magic to the cards, like this one here. And what are we? Oh, I know she has an amazing channel, Magus. She really does. And Selena just did a deck review yesterday of is it the Wheel of the Year? And some of the images in that deck are beautiful. And I love that the cards are round. I love uniquely shaped cards. So I even, hand painted some that I'll probably pull out at some point and maybe start using again for readings. But a lot of us have beautiful channels here. You had me at the Fog and Everyday Witch with your cozy the other day. Yeah. Um, but yeah, I was surprised, Magus, the Everyday Witch. But I hear a lot of people, gravitate. For me, I don't know about the pointy hat still in that type of art. It's a Heather thing. So who knows? Maybe at some point I'll gravitate towards and resonate with that. I do have a deck that has, the pointy hats, but I don't know. It's so interesting how we all resonate with different artwork. That's why, when people get upset about AI and it's going to, run out all the artists out of work and stuff, I don't think so. I really think that there is enough room for people to be able to express themselves and their ideas artistically through programs like AI to make decks. And then we're always going to have the artist who will have their vision, and there's always going to be an audience for that as well. So Everyday Witch is a favorite of yours, and you get what resonates and drawn to exactly. So the deck that I really want to get, and oh, Selena, I was so heartbroken when I saw that Folia. I was like, oh hell no, I'm getting that right now. I ran right to Amazon. I didn't care if I had to charge it, and I was like, what? December 15th. I mean, I got, I don't, you must have mentioned that it wasn't going to be released yet. But the minute you started flipping it, I was like, I was gone. I was there. I was ready to get it. But patience. And I have another deck coming in on the 1st, which I had, I was like, okay, Heather, it's your birthday, Christmas month. So you're allowed this one. But I'm hoping that I don't have any extra tariffs that I have to pay for that. But it's an amazing deck. And when Shan is like, no, 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 I want to see the flip through. I don't want to just see if you got, I want to see the whole deck. Then you know that there's something to this deck. Oh, you did mention it. I didn't remember. I was just like, oh my God, I gotta go get this deck. And I was like, there it is. And I went pre-order. So, but it'll be worth the wait, most definitely. But yes, so The Mind's Eye by Olivia Rose. Let me take a quick sip. We all might have a warm cup of coffee nearby or latte. What was it? You said you have pumpkin spice. Okay, wait a minute here. Let's all take a sip of our yummy warm goodness. I believe Megas had the pumpkin spice, and I know that Jackie said she's got the gingerbread chai latte. And I'm sure, Selena, you've got some coffee or something by you. So cheers, everybody. Sip to a beautiful day. And let's get started. Keep that right there. Not too far out of hand because I want to make sure I can drink some of that before it gets cold. Anytime I buy a deck, I look on YouTube. Now I do too. Back then, I didn't know about flip through. The minute somebody on the channel started saying, well, showing a few cards, I was like, oh, I'm getting that. But now, definitely, I will sit through a walkthrough. Like I said, there were a few cards that just kind of went, yeah, to me. But there were there were a lot of them that I was just like, wow. And sitting with this deck, I was trying to figure out the energy last night because I knew it was something important. I was supposed to have it. And I have been wanting to do readings on connecting with not just like our ancestors, but civilizations, masters from other time periods, artisans, scientists, writers, people who I find, or we may find fascinating. And it just felt like this deck would be good, would be a good deck for that, one of them. But also looking at the eyes and feeling the energy, it also had a feeling of like Lemurian to me, if that makes sense. Hey, Kristen. What's up, girlfriend? How are you? Oh, Kristen, that picture you shared on Facebook with the little one with her toy pickle. You know what caught my eye? I mean, the kitten's cute with her little pickle, but that desk behind her, the green, is that like a green man desk or cabinet? Oh my God, girl. That is absolutely stunning. See, this is the kind of things eventually I want to create for my home, gain that type of furniture. Absolutely beautiful, Kristen. So last night, what I didn't get to, because I was just reading a little blurb about Olivia. I didn't even look at the back of the book. I did not realize she's a young African American woman, um, and how profound her. So everybody, for you who do not know, meet Olivia. This is Olivia. And it says here Olivia. So she is an artist. She is a neighbor across the pond in UK with both Scottish and Jamaican heritage. Oh man, what a beautiful, beautiful combination. She has always had a passion for the arts and wanted to be an artist since the age of 5. Her love for art started with her mother, who studied fashion. She enjoyed watching her mom create beautiful fashion illustrations, and that's where the love affair began. And looking back now, I can see with some of the thin forms, the flowy, um, line linear work on the cards, I can see that from the fashion drawings that you would see designers using. I totally see that now, the connection. Olivia works using traditional materials such as markers, ink, and occasionally watercolors on watercolor paper. She is primarily a self taught artist, wow, but studied animation at university. She has created an oracle deck, the Heart's Eye Oracle. And I know Jonathan had that. He shared a couple of pictures of that deck with me on Facebook. It says here her interest in the ocean, obviously with the mermaid's purse, um, and nature has greatly influenced her work. She studies from natural forms such as shells, mushrooms, coral, and fossils that incorporates them into her artwork. Olivia also has a deep love for fantasy creatures such as mermaids, fairy, and elves, and they often make an appearance in her illustrations. Olivia's work has been displayed in the UK, America, China, and Malaysia. So, wow. And this deck is put out by US Games. And I don't know if I still have the receipt. Yeah, and this ran me, and they go by base price pretty much at the store here, but because in Oregon we don't have to pay sales tax, it doesn't really actually need to be on sale. Um, so let's see, the Mindful Eye Tarot was $26.95. And what was amazing is I was actually going to pick up the Thoth deck, but that deck was like twice, was like what, $36. I was like, what? And then when I saw this one for twice, I was like, no brainer. I was supposed to get that one, this one. And even in the book, even though the spine is very tight, I do not like it where you can't easily or comfortably open a book. I have to keep pushing down on the spine to pages to bend so that I can hold the book properly. But absolutely gorgeous. The artwork in the book is in color as well. And she doesn't overload with a lot of information. I do still like looking at the book because there's always going to be something of the artist's, view or connection to the cards besides the typical symbolism or a way that they interpret themselves and they, express it in their own words, so to speak. So just really, really loved this deck. It came out in 2023. Yeah, US Games. And alrighty. So who knows? Maybe if I do a few more of these, certain deck companies will start sending their decks. But I think for a a channel creator, a reader, to be able to get this, and correct me if I'm wrong, Selena, because you get the wonderful goodies in the mail to review from the companies. I think you have to have a certain amount of followers, and I think they prefer a recorded video with just the flip through and the description and the reading. I think that might be Brenda. Brenda! I looked down. I saw hello, Brenda. Everybody, amazing, amazing reader. We used to be neighbors. Another one of our fellow readers across, well, not across the pond, but next door to us in Canada, one of our Canadian compadres. Make sure to check out Brenda's channel. She really knows her numerology and astrology, and she does amazing um, readings and forecasts. I believe, Brenda, you still do. There are a lot of channels I have not been to since we've been here. It's just kind of energy is taking its time, but I am sending out emails to my former peeps, so you will be getting one from me, Brenda, to come and join me. Um, Nancy's taken a break for a while from doing shows, so I'm maybe looking for some people to join me for a Sacred Feminine show on Mondays. So it is good to see you, my dear. Oh yeah, it's our TV stand. Found in an antique shop. I mean, absolutely beautiful. So yeah. So Selena, I don't know if that's how they prefer. If that's how you actually get a company to take a chance on you with sharing their decks. If you have to have, you know, maybe the bells and whistles to be able to do that. But at some point I might. But anyhow, I prefer doing it this way because then people can see my actual expression, how much I enjoy the cards. I get to get feedback if people have questions they want to ask me about um, the deck. I can, do that as well. When it comes to the size of the cards, they're basically, yeah. Here, let me just do it this way. So, yep, they're just slightly bigger than this. Whoop, they're slightly bigger than this one, but they're beautiful linen. I can see the texture pattern on that, and while they might be a little slippery, picking them up or in hand when you shuffle them, oh my goodness, it's a dream. It's a beautiful dream. And the gilding is gorgeous. And what I really love on this is that the image goes pretty much all the way to, except for the bottom, which is fine, but the image goes to the very end of the card. And I love that there is a black background. The black backgrounds do such a beautiful job of popping the color, especially when you use beautiful intense colors or certain types of palettes. Um, so just really beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Before I do readings, is there any cards? Let me know if you have a particular card that is your favorite or favorites in the deck. If you would like to see them before I do readings, please let me know. I know for me, usually the maker or breaker is the high priestess. It's okay in this one. I don't mind it. Some of the ones that did surprise me, I love here. Look at this one here. The Nine of Pentacles. Absolutely beautiful. I love that. And like I said, I'm getting used to the eyes. Now, some things with the cards, like with the swords, with the point, with the eye, to me that just that doesn't work. But for me, I think my favorite suit of all of them, Jackie, you love the Empress card. For me, my favorite suit of the artwork that she's done for this deck is the Pentacles. So let's see, Jackie. Let's find. There, it didn't take long. She's got beautiful pastel colors. And there you go, Jackie. Isn't that gorgeous? It's just those eyes sometimes. It's like the eyes are unnerving to me, but at the same time, they make sense. Or if they weren't there, then the image wouldn't work. Very interesting. Let's see. Five of Wands. little flowers with eyes bouncing around. I thought that was very cute. And like the hint of the spider webs as well. The Wheel of Fortune, I was kind of like, yeah. To me, it just really didn't do much, but still, the colors are well done. Oh, the Seven of Pentacles. Like I said, the Pentacles are very beautiful. They have very almost fall like. Oh, and the Six of Cups, the nostalgia card. Absolutely beautiful. It's like giving, to me, it's like honoring your inner, it's like the older woman is saying, you know, the world is going to be different when you get to my age, but you have in future generations. To me, this also feels like future generations. You know, you have the power, you know, like in the cup. Here's the cup, here's the dream, here is to manifest, you know, a beautiful future for future generations. So, really just lovely. Let's see. Magus says he wants to see the Four of Swords. I remember that, Magus. That when you did the card for the Four of Swords. So let's see. Oh, and the Fool is lovely too. Every time I say lovely, I keep hearing the Stevie Wonder song. Isn't she lovely? Isn't she wonderful? Ooh, my voice is rough this morning. Okay, so Four Cups. No, we're not supposed to be singing. And of course, this is the Moon card. This is the Lena card, the Moon card. Beautiful, beautiful. So I'm looking. I guess I'm looking. Let's see. Watch is going to be at the very bottom. Isn't that the thing? Isn't that how it always is? Two of Swords, Eight of Wands. Oh, really quick for those, the Death card. That's the Death card. I just wish this brown here was a slightly different value so that it could stand out like the rest of the colors and the images. To me, it just kind of blends into the other end. Doesn't have the kind of pop that it could have, in my opinion. I mean, each artist has their... Okay, well, where is it? Four of Swords. King of Swords. Four of Swords. There you go, Magus. So there's the top. I mean, she is absolutely beautiful. Those swords still, you know, kind of the handles of them. I kind of get like the feel of the pyramids and the eye, the all-seeing eye with thought and everything. But for me, I don't know. But there you go. There's your Four of Swords. Hi, Irene. I still have not showered. Well, hello to you too, Roman. Roman, you are the only person I know that has ever popped into my chats within the last 4 years that I've been on Facebook, on YouTube, that comes in with saying, I have still not showered. Welcome, and hi, Irene. I see you, question mark, unless that's something hitting your keypad, right, when you try to find it and the card hides. Exactly. So for Roman and Irene, just sharing some of the specs of the Mind's Eye Tarot before I do some readings, and I felt compelled, or I felt drawn to bring the Magical Botanical. And Roman, if you don't have this deck, Heather doesn't usually recommend decks, or tries not to, you know, because like, you know, Gerald says, purchase responsibly, know your limits. But Roman, I absolutely love. I recommend this to everybody if you don't have it. The Magical Botanical Oracle. The only con to the deck, and it's just a Heather thing, but I think a lot of people would agree that Maxine Miller is such an incredible artist, is that her images are small on the cards. I would like to have seen them more larger because of the gorgeous detail. But Maxine Miller is another amazing artist. And that's just a couple of, you know, the Magical Botanical. Heather got left out again, like most decks leave Heather out. But that's okay. But there's Calla Lily. We have the Oak King. So a really beautiful deck too. And I think it will pair beautifully with the Mind's Eye Tarot. So I'm going to take a quick sip. All of us can take a nice sip of our hot drink. Irene's a lurking. She's grocery shopping. Roman, go scrub her pits. Oh for people. We had a great time. Well, I have both Kristen and Roman. Last Friday was so much fun, you two. I haven't had a good time in a long time on a Friday night show. Sometimes Allison and I would have a guest and we'd have a blast, but last Friday was a lot of fun having you two on. So um, definitely will have to do that again. And Roman's going to be joining me again this Friday. Um, but I'm trying to also get Tom Early Ritual to join me as well. And I've been sending out emails, so we'll see, availabilities for both the Sacred Feminine and the Friday show for future co-hosts. Alrighty, so my lukewarm coffee now. So I went to look at the back and to see what kind of tarot spread she might have specifically designed for her deck. And she just had one, but I thought it was very interesting. It's called it's a 3-card spread. It's for hindsight, insight, and foresight. I love that. And then so I figured I would pull cards if anybody wanted a reading. And typically I like to pull a 4th card just for underlying energy. So that very well may be the Magical Botanicals job to do that. We'll see. So the hindsight card. Hello, Janet. Here, let me move this here. My birthday is this Friday. Going out to, Kristen, why is my mouse not coming on? Happy early birthday, girl. Have a great time. Hubby going to get you some new decks. Let's see. The only positive thing about going blind is not seeing the dirt. Oh my God. And hello, Janet. Friday was fun. I'm lurking. Oh, banana bread. Our favorite banana bread is the banana nut bread with pecans and walnuts from Starbucks. They're like $4 a slice, but they're thick and they're yummy. They're not full of sugar like at the stores. They're not that mealy, sugary. Just really, really nice. And we like to warm it with a little pat of butter. Sounds good. Christina, good day, my dear, in Australia. We're going into our fall, and we're in our fall and going into our winter season, and you are going into your spring and summer. So I hope you're having a beautiful day, my dear. Good to see you. Got a new deck that I'm going to be doing readings with. And again, for people coming in, this is Olivia Rose, for those who don't know. She is Scottish and Jamaican, and she lives in the UK. And her cards, her artwork is made with watercolors, ink, markers. So I love when we learn about what other artists use. And I love it when the artist is also the writer of the deck, because my pet peeve, and I will always say it whenever I feel like saying it, so is that, all these decks would not have all these, would not exist without the artist. And a lot of times people are like, oh, get this deck by Colette Baron Reed, get this deck by so and so. And it's like, that without, they're just the authors, without the artist taking that writer's idea or vision and putting it into the card, there would be no deck without the artist. So for my pet peeve is I wish the artist would get mentioned in the same breath as the author, the writer. And one of the things I did notice about here is that when she referred to the RWS, she left out Pamela's name. So that it was mentioned as the Rider Waite. So if this was 2023, I think by then Smith was added to the Rider Waite Smith. So we need to make sure that we give Pixie her dues, to, again, the artist for the deck. So alrighty, I'll step up off my soapbox. So going back to the spread, it's hindsight, which represents what lessons have you learned from your past experiences. The second card, which is the insight card, what are you learning about your present situation? And it says so also here, trust your intuition and your third eye chakra to reveal what it is you need to know. And then the foresight card is the third card, offers foresight and hints about the future based on your current decisions and actions. And of course, I always say I don't do predictive, but the third card, the foresight, gives you ideas of how things could possibly be if certain messages or work that needs to be done is not being done by the person receiving the reading. So if the work isn't being done and the necessary changes aren't going to be made, then certain outcomes are or are not, depending on, is going to happen. So, and what's this evil? I just had to add the magical botanical to my ever-growing wish list. Well, it's a beautiful deck. She's an amazing artist. So, but that will be and I'll repeat the questions too when I pull the cards. So if anybody, excuse me, I had some cottage cheese and peaches before coming on, so just a little burpee. So if anybody would like a reading, I cannot wait to really get going and start using these cards for readings. So y'all know what to do. Type in me. Let me go ahead and just put my little me banner up there. Oh, wait a minute. Nope, that's for Sacred Feminine. Where's my I don't have just a me in here, do I? So what I can do too is I can open up to questions if someone has a specific question. Of course, I don't do political. I try to avoid the third party, and the health and legal, are pretty much for professionals. So again, entertainment purposes only. Always seek help from the professionals. And as Gerald would say, really. So, alrighty, let me grab my pen. I'm seeing knees popping up, and I did have a pen in here. And it is now missing. Right back for a second. I just gotta go grab. I should have one in here. What artist does not have a pencil? Or a pen? Hang tight, my peeps. Alrighty. And I am back. And so we have Jackie. We have Kristen. We have Christina. And Heather, could you put the prompts for the spread later in the description? I'm learning how to do that, so yes, I will. So, Roman, would you like one? Roman was up late last night with the girls, with Ginger and Nancy doing all those readings. And yet he was back on today, this morning, pulls some more cards for us. So I would be delighted to return the favor. So, okay. The first card is hindsight card. So, what lessons have you learned from your past experiences? Oh, I bet you are. I cannot read for over 2 hours. I just can't do that. That's very draining. Tapping into everybody's energy. Not many people for that long. So, but some of us readers can do it, And mad props to them. So I just love shuffling these cards. They're so beautiful. So for Jackie, the first card, what lessons have you learned from your past experiences? All righty. I think I'm just going to lay them all out. So the second card provides the insight. What are you learning about your present situation? Oh boy. And let's see, the third card offers foresight and hints about the future. So this is possible outcome. Alrighty. And for your overlying energy, your magical botanical, these shuffle really beautifully too. Whoop, that came flying out. Okay. So excited. Thank you everybody for being here. Love playing with my new decks. And I said decks, but watch, because I said that Miss Tarot D is going to pop in here and be her naughty self. Alrighty. What lessons have you learned from your past experiences? So we got the Knight of Swords, my dear. So the Knight of Swords, before I open the page, that's the knight that really likes to move fast. They're the ones that, rush into situations. They may rush into saying things, thoughts rushing maybe to, um, having to think quickly. Let's say, having to sometimes being able to think quickly on one's feet. But we also have to watch with the Knight of Swords, sometimes saying things before we think about them, So sometimes there is a little bit of, oops, kind of foot in mouth, so to speak. But the Knights of Swords, they move swiftly. They can come into me. The Knight of Swords is also something that makes me think of like military, law office, and with the swords to judicial and things like that. But the Knight of Swords, fast thinkers, fast movers. So let's see what she wanted to share about. Now I have to get used to where I'm going to have to get my little tabs and do. Alrighty. No, we don't want the page. We want the knight. So let's see here. She's on a crow. Hi, Ben. Good to see you again, my dear. So I didn't realize this until just now. She is on a crow. So how badass. So this could very well be a Morgan, the Morgan card for me in this deck. So the Knight of Swords. So it's okay. She rides her crow forward almost impatiently. So again, rushing in, sometimes feeling impatient or restless that we have to rush. We have to keep moving. And so this card is about progressing and achieving your goals, which is a good thing. Nothing can get in your way as you strive forward your destination. I like that. Again, though, having to watch because of the energy. Now, if this were to come out reverse, it would acknowledge more of the tactlessness. Could be aggressive, forceful, but in here it's being very reactive, very being dynamic, but also being very impatient. So what we have learned, let me bring back that thing in the description in the back. So for the first card, what lessons have you learned from your past experiences? So maybe, not rushing into something, making sure that, everything is in place. This is good to have goals. It's good to be able to want to get motivated and get things done. But at the same time, making sure that we're thinking things clearly and thoroughly before rushing in, because it's that edge of impatience can really make us do things before we're ready to do them, or make things happen before we're ready to do them. And now the middle card, which is your insight of what you're learning from the present situation. Let me get my keyboard because it's slipping and sliding, which makes me think that maybe in hindsight, not moving so fast, because I did get the Ten of Swords. And the Ten of Swords is that moment of where you're done, you're cooked. I mean, you're just so overwhelmed with thoughts and actions, and especially at the hands of other people. So this is what's good though about the Ten of Swords, is that things have come to an end. This is the end of a cycle. So even though you're laying down, there's always room, because once you're down, you can always go up. So it's time to start removing those swords out, reclaiming your power and being able to move forward. So the lesson learned in hindsight was maybe that rushing in cause a situation where, um, you know, it kind of came back on you, kind of bit you in the butt, so to speak. And even if it wasn't something that was being tactless, it might have been just something that um, ended up becoming very overwhelming. Because, like the Ten of Wands, it's all about burdens, oppression. Same thing with the Ten of Wands was that burden, oppression of our thoughts, um, of our dreams, of us being able to move forward. We're just kind of boom, nailed right to place. But now, moving forward, we have the Page of Wands. Isn't she cute sitting on her little mushroom? And the Page of Wands is that more that youthful, rejuvenated energy. You know, the Page of Wands is like, okay, I have my wand, which represents fire, inspiration, motivation, creativity as well. And so now it's like being rejuvenated, looking at things in a fresh new way, maybe through youthful eyes, and saying, okay, what can I do now moving forward, that I can achieve what I wanted to by rushing in so quickly, now that I've got, all that behind me, and I'm in the process of removing all those swords and moving ahead. By doing that, we're going to be looking at new ways of looking at how to approach maybe situations, how much energy, um, how much, I don't say aggression, but how much we push, how much we are able to give of ourselves, um, and just finding inspiration again. Ten of Wands, cute card is cute. Well, this is the Ten of Swords. I was just referring to the Ten of Wands as being like a burden, just being burdened with everyday things. Here with the Ten of Swords, there's that burden, oppression, just, kind of nailing it to the ground. But again, hitting rock bottom, we can always get up and move forward. It's like you can't go any lower than that. And let's see what she says about here. In her book, this card represents misfortune, anxiety, surrender, and prostration. It suggests an abrupt, painful ending, except that no real ending would require so many swords. So the light in the back is breaking through the storm. So again, like in the traditional card where the sun is coming up over the horizon, you're not dead. It's just a brand new day. We just lay there, we gather our strength, remove those swords, and know that each day is a new day to start, a new time to begin again. And so it is about exhaustion, failure, even self pity is actually, she's connecting self pity to this in this deck. So we're in this moment of, okay, well, it's time to pick all this up. It's in the past, hindsight now, 40/40, or is it 20/20? And now moving forward, we are that beautiful Page of Wands, my dear. And so let's take a look at that Page of Wands and see what specific other messages she may have. Um, let's see. What else can she add here? Just the same thing, creative thinking, discovery. So signifies passion and excitement now towards the world. We're past that. Once we get up, dust ourselves off, and leave that in the behind, we can now move forward and start expressing ourselves in more creative ways, finding creative ways of handling situations, of moving forward. Um, so yeah, the Page of Wands has an innate curiosity and is easily distracted. She must be careful not to allow distractions to ruin any future opportunities. So just, staying focused, my dear, and watching where you direct that energy, because Wands is about willpower, energy, manifestation. So just kind of watching where you are directing your energy, and not overdoing it now that you're up, you're on your feet. Not being afraid, still being, learning how to be fearless, but being inspired creatively to move forward. And the overall energy, you got the Mandrake. You got the Mandrake. Just love her art. And he is number 17. And I just took that weekend workshop, and I'm looking at Venus, Saturn, and Mars. Wow. So Saturn, Saturn's rough. Mars, so there's interesting, the element of Earth. So being grounded. So I don't know if there's something that this is going to acknowledge, relationships, Jackie, with a in particular individual or individuals, because I'm seeing on this card here the Venus and the Mars, the masculine and the feminine, and when the Saturn, being in there, Saturn can be trouble sometimes. I don't have my notes from the weekend workshop, but Saturn kind of, really shakes us up. It's the mover and shaker, basically. And so this could be acknowledging maybe a shakeup with certain relationships, possibly with another gentleman. Gotta go. Sorry. Okay. Bye, Kristen. I know I'm taking a while with these cards, but I'll pull, Kristen. I'll pull and I'll send you pictures later on. Let's just see really quick here because there's an affirmation that goes with the mandrake. And it's, I am a magical creature capable of anything. So that's the overline energy, and that's connecting with that beautiful page of wands, Jackie. And just let's see here really quick because they give all different types of meanings. Um, so I like this. I'm going to read this part to you. Mandrake guides us to walk the path of magic, the path of the witch, and seek the mystery in the hidden and dark places, embracing who we really are. Um, Ask yourself how you are using the magic you have. The mandrake is a great greenwood sorcerer, aligned with the wisdom of the gallows, the hanged man's mysteries, and the depths of the earthly grave to be reborn. Wow. So, just a reminder, not to be afraid of your power, to tap into that, but to remember how to wield that wisely because of hindsight of what's happened in the past. But again, it's not about fear. It's just this is acknowledging that you have seen what has happened. This is the present moment of picking things up, picking yourself up, and getting tapped in and inspired and awakened again. And you got that beautiful mandrake reminding you of the power that you have, the magic within to be able to do that and to wield it wisely. So that's what I have for you, my dear. And I'm going to take a sip. So I'll have to do Kristen's reading later. So Christina is going to be next. Let me just check and see what chat has been saying. Work lurking, yes she is. I need that deck. The Magical Botanical, it's gorgeous. I just wish these decks would stop leaving out the plant heather. There's a lot of very cool attributes I learned through Scott Cunningham's book when it comes to the plant heather. Being able to conjure ghosts, communicating with spirit, being able to bring rain when rain is needed. Lots of really cool aspects to that. Let's see, Gold Monday. Oh, Gold's got, so bye, Roman. So he's probably already gone by now. All righty. So Ben is here. Ben, do you want a card? Let's see. Magus. Beautiful reading, Heather. Thank you for being a beautiful light and spring love. Well, thank you, Magus. I appreciate you so much. You don't know how much that means to me with what I've been through this past summer, these past few months. So thank you. And you are welcome, Jackie. It's always a pleasure. And Jack is here. What's going on, Jack? All right, so Christina is here. All righty, so let's open back to that page. Next time I'm going to have to remember to put the prompts in the scrolling in the bottom. And again, if there is a personal question that you want asked to go along with this 3-card pull, please let me know. Ben, you got it. You don't own me. I had to do that, Ben. I had to do that for you. So, alrighty. Christina. Hindsight. What lessons have you learned from your past experiences? Oh, these cards just shuffle like a dream. And your insight card, this, I wish this page would stay down. The spine is so tight. So what are you learning about your present situation? Oh my goodness. And the third card offers foresight and height. So this is, a possible outcome, something to be mindful of. And let's see what your underlying energy is. Let me move this over here from the Magical Botanical. How are you doing today, Jack? Hope everybody is doing well. Brenda, you guys got a lot of snow? We really don't get snow here for the past week or so. We've been having a high of between like a few days here and there it was cooler, but anywhere between 55 to 65, almost 70. It's been absolutely beautiful. Ooh, spicy. All righty, so Christina, what lessons have you learned from your past experiences? You got the World card, and this is one of the cards in the deck where the tonal values are all the same. So it's kind of dark and muted, and it's kind of like hard to see the images. But the World card, that's all about coming full circle. Everything is, so what's telling me is, before opening up to the pages, that in hindsight, what have you learned from your past experiences? Um, Enough wisdom when you know that you have completed a cycle. So you have completed a cycle, and now from everything that you've been through within that cycle of learning, or the cycle of situation, but we're always learning. So let's just keep it that way. So the cycle of our journey, of our recent journey, and or could actually, include, because it's kind of like telling me not just now, but it can also, you know, be from where we started, point A, at a certain point of consciousness, to now where we are. You have the ability to see the journey as a journey, that it's something that we all need to go through to be able to get to this point, and that point of completion, coming full circle and having that wisdom and knowledge to be able to move forward. Interesting. I felt a white owl around me. There is on this card an eagle, a lion, and a Taurus or a bull. I'm looking to see if an owl, because I know she's got an owl in one of these cards. I don't see that, but the owls are about wisdom. I mean, it's a beautiful totem. An owl is connected to Santa Muerte that Selena works with. It's also, I think, associated with Hecate. The owl is associated with a lot of deities or archetypes, if you like to call them that, that work with rebirth, wisdom, you know, the wisdom of, the wisdom that we get from our shadow, and being able to incorporate that, because again, people still think, owls are a bad omen. They can spin their head around and this and that, and to them it's very scary. But the owls help us see through the dark. They help us guide us through the night. They, help us kind of see through our shadow or our dark moments, or for me, even self doubt. This is where I'm coming from. This is where I'm going with Christina. The owl's there to help you see through your veils of darkness when things kind of get dark, or when things seem to be so murky. Just remember how big and bright those owls' eyes are, and how they can turn their head and they can see, and maybe start trusting in that owl moving forward. So let's see what she said about the World card. I'm very interested. So let's get to, because you got several major arcanas. Now it's interesting. The artwork on the card is much darker than the actual image that they printed in the book. Look how bright that is. I wonder why that is. but now I can see her very beautifully on that one. So, so again, signifies the success of a very long journey and or project that you've been on. It's a feeling of sense of fulfillment and accomplishment. You may have reached a important goal and now you can feel complete. So again, doing that work, going on that journey, going through everything that you had to go through, and now you're here, at the conclusion, and now it's like time to move on to the next. So again, yes, belonging, achievement, success is a beautiful card. So your next card of what is, what is my understanding of what's going on right now? You have the Empress. These are really beautiful cards, Christina. Um, you got the Empress card, and that Empress is her. And it's nice because in this one here, it doesn't show that she has to be, pregnant with child, but the Empress is the earth, it's the Gaia. It's being connected to the creativity, the fertility of the soil, of our nature, of us being able to bring beautiful things into life, to life, not just babies, but art, our own self, creating, um, the perfect home for ourselves, our ideal. I just heard headspace, not just home space, our headspace, our emotional place. The Empress again is that beautiful, creative. Um, Connection to Mother Earth and nature and nurturing. And the next card goes completely wrong with that. But let's see what she said about Empress. Beautiful, beautiful cards. It's also a sign to connect with your feminine side. So it's, I like that. So it's connecting, ability to comfort. You have that ability not just to comfort others, but to comfort yourself. And yes, Empress represents a nurturing maternal figure who encourages your artistic creativity. So again, I think with one end journey coming to an end, you have all of that experience to now to put into supporting anything that you're doing creatively, and not just what we can do for ourselves, but with that experience from the world, you're able to, like the card says, you're somebody who can help encourage artistic creativity in others. um, there's the fertility, the compassion, the ability to comfort, and your your foresight. Our outcome is continuing the same way. It's the Queen of Pentacles. She's another Empress. She is that maternal, um, feminine energy of creativity. She provides stability, security, and being of the earth. I know typically, the wands and the cups can represent artistic endeavors, but she is the one that makes sure that um, so what I'm seeing is, and I don't know if this is something you're doing, Christina, but you're wanting to do something, you're thinking creatively, you're thinking outside of the box in ways of how to help encourage either youth or, the younger generation, or even people um, in your sphere, or how you want to reach more people and be able to teach them how to be creative, how to trust in their creativity, no matter how that is with the arts, with a career, a goal that they have, and you have that maternal and where's she saying here, that encouraging energy to be able to help and guide and give them a sense of stability, a sense of security, that they can feel safe within their own skin, their own creativity, and be able to find ways of them to be able to um, express themselves safely, um, and in however creative ways that they want to, because that Queen of Pentacles provides that stability and that safety and that encouragement. And let's just see really quick what else that she added to the Queen. The Queen. I just love the Pentacles. I love the artwork she did for the Pentacles. It's a protection, practicality, reliability. So again, the loving, nurturing figure. She takes care of those around her. So, but yeah, with the earth also, I don't know if you want to maybe teach if there's something to do with gardening or being connected to nature and learning how to creatively connect, help others to creatively connect with their own creativity and expression. Now, your underlying energy for the reading, you got the Kala Lily. Hi, Mona. Thanks for popping in. So you got the Kala Lily, and that's why I say, woo, spicy. Look at that redhead. And so we are going to look at the Kala Lily and see what her affirmation is for you. And my spiritual nature and sexual nature are balanced and harmonious. So, okay. I'm going to go on a little bit of a limb here, like I've been saying. So, Christina, I don't know if you help already or want to help those who may be trans or who may be, it's sexual preference, orientation, because I don't know how it is in Australia, but in some areas here and around the world, they still do not feel safe expressing themselves and who they are and how they want to do that creatively, expressing themselves. And here with the Kala Lily mentioning spiritual nature and sexual nature being balanced and harmonious, I'm wondering if there are ways that you're looking where you can help these individuals find that balance, help people to find that balance and connection again. And that just has to be with trans, but people who have been maybe through certain sexual traumas or abuses. I just feel like you have this beautiful potential to be able to provide that loving, nurturing energy from having been through certain experiences and or training in life where you have that beautiful skill or ability to be able to help others express that and to heal that within themselves and possibly yourself as well, because a lot of times people say, well, how can I help heal another person when I'm still healing? Because when we help heal others, we heal ourselves as well. And I'm looking for the divination. I'm looking to see what this can help us. This is a time of personal empowerment, a relationship going well on all levels. And is also talking about being enchanted by another, taking pleasure in a new relationship with an intimate partner. This could be yourself as well. Um, but it still kind of almost feels like I'm just going to stop there, Christina, and I'll see what you, if anything of that resonates with you. So let me get caught up here. So Ben is next. Cool world card. Interesting. I felt a white owl. Okay. Let's see. She looks beautiful. Isn't she gorgeous? And alrighty, I'll let that sink in. But please let me know if I was on track. I know, we like to have details sometimes to know how the cards do or do not resonate. But if any of that tracks with you, just let me know if I'm kind of tuning in properly. I'm learning how to tune in. So without having to go into detail, my tuning in, I'm tuning out. But yeah, that's that Kala Lily, and this is going to be kind of like maybe a quick kind of like collective, but I can see within the cards that some of us who have been through certain traumas, um, even personally and or through helping others and helping them heal and experiencing some of that through others' pain, that it brings us to a place where sometimes we're afraid to connect with our own sexuality, with um, our own pleasure, and not being ashamed and guilt, especially being in a patriarchal society. And that Kala Lily just makes me think that it's the go ahead. She makes me think of Lilith a little bit. I have a deck with Lilith with the big red hair, and she's all about having sovereignty over her body and being able to heal and to feel safe, to trust in her, in the sensations and feelings and emotions within their own body. So that's where I'm going to end it, Christina. Hope that resonated for you, my dear. All righty. Ben, you're next. Ben, we'll take a sip. And while taking a sip, if everybody can remember to hit that like button for me, that would be great. And after the show, if you can come back and even just leave one emoji, that would be awesome. I know Jackie always leaves me, a comment saying that thank you for the read, and I appreciate that. But if some people just have time just to leave a heart or a thumbs up, in the comments as well, that is most helpful. I have a lot of exciting things I'm planning and want to do with my channel, so I'm in a better place now than I was in New York, and I'm feeling safe and grounded more now, like that Queen of Pentacles, and so now I want to start exploring. So, okay, Ben, you're next. And I do hope you start doing shows again, Ben. We miss you. But Ben, you have to let me know. Send me an email, or I can send you an email and you can respond about what times are good, because I know now that I'm in the Pacific Northwest, like with Jackie, her and I used to only be 5 hours apart. Now we're 8. So if I have to be up early to hang out with you, no problem. Just let me know. And you're here. Okay. So, hindsight. Alrighty, my email's still the same. It's in the description as well. Alrighty. Stay down. So, what lessons have you learned from past experiences? Oh, she came up again. The second card provides insight. What are you learning about your present situation? The third card is the foresight, kind of like the outcome. Okay, overall energy. Oh, thank you, Janet. That's very sweet of you. Ooh, Ben, you got my favorite card out of this deck. But we have to wait. Awesome cards. So, Ben, what lessons have you learned from your past experiences? The Empress came out for you. So, I'm looking at this past experiences. This is about learning to trust your intuition, being grounded in who you are, tapping into that feminine side of yourself that you do so beautifully. Because for people who don't know, even though the videos aren't up, Ben and I have known each other for about 4 years now, and he's done readings with me and with others on my previous channel. And Ben's readings for me were always spot on. And the messages are delivered, especially sometimes even the tough messages, things sometimes that we don't have to want to hear. Ben has a way of being able to deliver those messages with grace. Is that very feminine, connected energy, that creativity being a singer, being a performer, all of that. So, in hindsight, what you have learned, you know that you are the empress, you are a nurturer, um, and having to also learn how to nurture ourselves and to trust in our creativity. And I think you do that so beautifully, Ben. With the second card, provides insight. What are you learning from your present situation? You're learning to, for me, it feels like you're feeling emotionally safe to be able to start connecting with others again. This beautiful Three of Cups is about celebration, celebrating with others, about who you are, who they are. It's about that sense of community, um, and connecting with others on that beautiful, beautiful, empathic, and intuitive, um, in a beautiful, intuitive way, like you always have. So for me, it feels like in right now, um, what you've learned in the past from being the empress. And her, and I love how she's holding that wand. So she's still sitting in her seat. So she is still on her throne. She's for me. She's also about creating those boundaries as well, especially those creative ones. And she knows how to tap into those. And now she's reaching out, and you're finding those connections now again in the Three of Cups. Um, Learning to celebrate all aspects of ourselves, all facets of ourselves. And by doing that, we're bringing people again to celebrate, life and who we are. I'm going to open up to see what she had to say about that Three of Cups. See if she can add anything to it. Just merriment, gatherings, celebrations, friendship, positive friendship. Excuse me. So these are about feelings of growth and compassion. So, yeah, this is what you're going through right now. You're starting to trust intuitively. You're starting to be able to trust intuitively who, no, you intuitively, okay, how do I keep, so you have that intuition inside, you're listening to it, you're grounded, from the Empress energy, and you're using that to creatively know where to set out those boundaries and to know who you can intuitively trust. You're trusting who you can feel, um, compassion with, those who will treat you with, respect, those who, you feel safe with. And your last card, the outcome of all this, is the Two of Pentacles. And the Two of Pentacles has to do with, balancing, maintaining equilibrium. So tapping into that creativity, wanting to express that more right now, experiencing again, joining people, connecting with people again, but being mindful that there's going to be balance that's going to be needed, because I know that, from what last couple of times we talked, I know work sometimes can take away from your time to be able to do shows and things. So right now it's about balancing, not just, finances and time wise, but also, being able to balance, keeping that equilibrium, knowing when to be able to give over to that merriment, that celebration and connection, and being able to do the adulting stuff, but keeping yourself grounded. Though the Pentacles too is about earth, grounding, security, safety. So, moving forward, just making sure that there's a healthy balance, and dance, because you see the typical jugglers, dancing around, balancing everything. But by maintaining that beautiful balance, um, I still see again good things coming for you with these beautiful cards. And well, let's see what she said too about the Pentacles. I'm so excited to get to that other card. Oops, that's the wrong book. Here we go. So let's see what she says about the Two of Pentacles. What can she add? Well, there's so flexibility, adaptability. Um, She has decisions to make and is concentrating on making the right choice. So again, making the right choice of all of these people that you're reconnecting with, and enjoying yourself with. Just being able to make sure that you're concentrating on the right choices, maintaining that balance, making the right choice. So it says here, with focus, attention, and care, you can make the right decisions to maintain harmony in your life. I love this. And then, okay, thank you, Christina. I know you love to dance. He took down his videos, but um, Ben's a very good dancer. He did these choreographed moves and videos with music. So much fun. So, haha, Ben, you ready for your card? You got Belladonna. I love this. The High Priestess. She is so bad. That's why I wish these cards were bigger so everyone can see the amount of artwork. But I absolutely love the Belladonna. And of course, it's my favorite album by Stevie Nicks. It's been Belladonna. But whew, the Belladonna, the High Priestess, the giver of sight. She takes you on flight. Of course, you kind of have to watch because too much Belladonna, and you'll be permanently in the astral plane. I found our video we did. I need to back. Oh my God. Ben, without mentioning names, I miss her terribly. It's been, what, 3 years now? So I don't know if you're still in touch with her, but if you are, and I don't know if she would want to hear it, but I still love her and I still miss her. And I hope maybe one of these days. Sorry, got a phone call coming in. Oh, Erica, I'm doing a show, honey. I can't talk right now. All right. Bye, honey. Sorry. Spirit called. So, but yeah, give her my best. You're not in touch. Okay. But that was a beautiful time in my life. And thank you for making that such a beautiful time. So, Belladonna. Mm, that's a beautiful song, too. You can ride high above your pony. I know you won't fall. 'Cause the whole thing's phony. Guys, gotta stop seeing Stevie Nicks here. So, a tropa belladonna. Affirmation. I see through my illusions. So, making sure that sometimes we try to tell ourselves, well, maybe this isn't quite what, see through our illusions, see through others' illusions. If you're feeling like something isn't quite clear, like something's not right, trust that intuition, my dear. And making sure that, we don't make illusions for ourselves to make us, you know, um, how do I say this? Sometimes we create our own illusions because we can't handle or it's too painful to maybe see or accept certain, whether individuals currently in our life or have been in our life or situations, work, whatever it is that we sometimes create these false, I guess what they call false narratives, and to keep us feeling safe and protected, but at the same time making sure that by doing that we're not actually doing more harm to ourselves than good. um, I'm looking to see where, okay, she helps us break the cords and lines of energy that link us to harmful people and places. Belladonna can break the spell any toxic person in our lives might have over us that prevents us from seeing their harmful ways. So, okay. It helps us project our psychic self into their realm or simply gives us enough spiritual light to see and commune with them when we're talking about the Fae and elementals to help you along with this. Um, and it's a invitation too. Once we cut the cords and we're ready to move into our power and take the next step into our abilities and development, that's what she's there for. That's what I have for you, Ben. It's been so long since I read for you. It's good to see you. We got to do something. We'll be in touch, like they say. We'll be in touch. Um, so let's see. Never know one day when she may least expect it. Yeah. I think you know who it relates to. Okay. So I still have 5 people in chat. Thank you for hanging out. I know at one point I had like 8, and I was like, woo. So I know they're relatively long readings, and I know some people don't like when others read from the book, but I like to read and see what other ways of presenting the information or insights that other authors. Because then why bother writing a book if you're not going to, express, yourself with the art and the writing. So. Um, let's see, just making sure I didn't miss anything. I'm misconnecting with people. Yeah. I've been doing that today, reaching out to people from my former circles. They'll see if we'll want to join. Um, and I miss hearing you say my name. Hey, Heather. People don't realize Ben has a very soft, like Chris, he's like, hey, Heather, because I'm being Irish. He's like, hey, Heather. And then Ben's like, hey, Heather. I absolutely love it, and I miss it. Oh, Jackie, I appreciate all of you as well. So I have 5 in chat. I read for Jackie. Kristen had to take off. I'll pull cards for her later on. And so I do, Selena, honey, my dear. I always have time for you. I always have time for you. I know it's nice to hear the author's meaning behind the cards, because it's almost like saying, well, I know everything I need to know about tarot. I don't need to read whatever anybody else writes. And you know what I mean? It's just kind of like, no, we know the basics, but let's read a bit from the book and see what they can bring as another layer or understanding to, um, the cards. So, alrighty, Miss Selena. And make sure you give my Darla a big hug and a little kissy on the nose for me, from Auntie Heather. She's absolutely precious. Okay. Alrighty. What lessons have you learned from your past experiences? Oh, she's been off today. Well, I hope she's well. Yeah, Ben and I go way back to the beginning when I started getting into the tarot tube. It's been a good 4 years. So, what lessons has Selena learned from her past experiences? Okay, what are you learning about your present situation? Girl. The 3rd card offers foresight and hints about the future based on your current decisions and actions. I think it's been 4 years. Yeah, this month I'm celebrating. Well, I don't know if I can still call it a channel anniversary because it's a new channel, although the old one's still up. Selena. Okay. And so for underlying energy. Yep, still celebrate. All righty. So let me just open up to that first page. So the first card is the hindsight card. What lessons have you learned from your past experiences? So we got the 2 of Swords. And that's about having to make those decisions. Having to clear your thoughts and sit there and weigh your options, and having to make sometimes some difficult decisions. Not always difficult. It could be happy ones, but usually with the Two of Swords, it's about going within and tapping into that intuition to be able to clear your head and listen, to be able to communicate, with your higher self, with your guides, um, on important decisions, that need to be made, and trying to balance them. Let's see what she wanted to offer. So there's a lack of information. So this card represents indecision. So she's blind. Typically, she's blindfolded. Yeah, blindfolded, blindfolded, and learning how to trust. Because her heart gets covered. Because sometimes what the heart wants isn't maybe always the best decision. And so here it's about having to have. I like how she uses impartiality, having to really separate. Okay, I don't know where some of these phrases are coming from today, but separating the meat from the bones. Trying to really get down to what decisions that um, need to be made. And it says here, it's putting her in an uncomfortable situation or position, confusion or hesitancy in choosing which of two different directions to follow. So struggling with a decision, and I kind of think I know what part of this might be. Um, but decisions, trying to book says about struggling to find a decision, trying to find a way to go that um I'm trying to find the analogy is having to make that decision that doesn't maybe change too many things, but at the same time, trying to keep things a certain way without accelerating the problem. Like it says here, it says this card relates to struggling with a decision or with finding a solution to a problem. So, hindsight, this, having been done, needing to be done. And what's it basically here, it says also it's a bit a stalemate. Um, but I'm also seeing the lack of information. And I'm seeing that how we've talked, how that has um, because sometimes when we don't have the proper information, it's harder for us to make those decisions. And then when things come up, like in your second card here, it makes sometimes it even more difficult, to figure out what to do. Your next card is for what's going on right now with this decision is Five of Wands. And the Five of Wands is about that struggle. It's that battle. Um, you know, trying to make everything work, trying to make everything fit. But like with those eyes, having that third eye, knowing that um, they're all of them surrounding like that, and then that feeling like with those webs, it's like holding in place. It's like trying to. What this reminds me of, Selena, is kerplop. Um, Not kerplop. I don't know. There was another, but where you would set something in and you had to pull the spikes out to keep things from falling down and in. So it's kind of like trying to figure out how to make all of this work, hold things into place while still maintaining, you know, the current situation, or, until you can um, find solution, like that Two of Swords. Um, but right now, the struggles that you're going through right now is making it hard, you know, with that decision. However, Kerplunk, thank you. Let's see what she says about the Five of Wands. Such a thick book. It's a beautiful book. Well, it says here minor conflict, which may not always be an argument, but rather a competition or a struggle. But there is conflict, aggression, struggle, um, resisting bullying. Wow, that jumped at me. Selena, I don't know if there's anything like that going on, but there's something to do that, I mean, that jumped right out at me. I was going to say, I'm not saying, and I said, say it. I'm like, okay, I'm going to say it. Um, I mean, I think I don't know if this has to do with work, um, or maybe just the whole situation that you're going through right now as a whole. Um, Makes it feel like, oh my God, I'm almost like a sense of being bullied. It's like, what the, excuse me language, people, like, what the fuck did I do to deserve this? Why is this happening? I do everything that I need to do, and yet I still have these expect more. Yeah, and by doing that, it makes things that we talked about much more difficult. However, you did get a good card. Hello, Marie. Good to see you. Your card though, for for foresight, moving ahead. I like this one. You did get the Magician. So, girl, you have the power to manifest a positive outcome here. Um, but I know that what you know that needs to be done to manifest the right outcome because of these Two of Swords and these struggles, it's something that it's making it very difficult for you to do. Again, like with the bullying from um, with work and everything, it's just, but it's telling you that you still have the power in your hands. You are not powerless. You are a strong, powerful witch. You know how to get things done. You know how to work with energy. And as difficult as things are right now, I think you will find a way. I believe in you. Um, you'll find a way to start working through this. Let's look at your overall energy. Angel's trumpet. Let's see, let me show up here. So this is the angel's trumpet. I know you work with herbs, so you may already know this one. But if you see the trumpet too, it's like blowing the horn and the devil's leaping. It's leaving. So for me, automatically looking at this, she's rising up out of the ground, the grave. They can't stand the noise. You're making that call. The Magician, you are sending out word. It's like at some point, Selena, it's going to be, you're going to figure something out. And it's going to be, you're going to blow that damn trumpet, and it's going to send those issues running. It's going to set that energy moving, that negative energy, the people that are behind it. Um, and it's going to be kind of like a rebirth. Just looking at, um, and yeah, down here it's kind of a little scary to look at, but look, even the devil's going, oh my God, I can't stand that noise. So again, with the devils, that doesn't necessarily mean an actual devil. It's just those things that hold you back, that bind you, that hold you down. And we all, we already know what that is, my dear. Um, just a moment, Marie. We'll see if I have time, sweetie. I've been on for almost 2 hours, my dear. So Angel's trumpet. Let's see what the affirmation is for you on this. And then we'll look. So the affirmation is okay, ready, Selena? I listen to the voice of my soul and I am ready for change. And I'm just going to hold on for a second. So, Marie, I understand that, sweetie, but I've been on for almost 2 hours, sweetheart. I am going to have to go soon. I'll see if I have time. Maybe I can pull one card for you, if that would be okay. But I am going to have to get going soon. But I do go on regularly. So, um, next time, I'll be sure to get a full card reading. So it says here, I listen to the voice of my soul and I am ready for change. That's the affirmation, my dear, for that card. Um, when you get this card, it is time to ask yourself what message you are not hearing that's urging you to transform. Look at the devils, not holding their ears, as they cannot stand her holy sound. What devils or attachments do you need to cast out from your life, allowing you to evolve? Let go and trust the process, as you really have no choice. And I know that's something that nobody wants to hear. Um, and I know income is extremely important. I know maintaining that sense of security and stability through work and school and everything is very important. But at some point, something's going to give. But you are going to be the one empower yourself to manifest it and to make it happen. You will be the one doing that deciding. You're going to be the one. It's not going to be in somebody else's hand. You're going to take that power back, and you're going to find a way of using it, and you are going to be able to make that change. So that's what I have for you, my dear. Oh, thank you. I'm sorry to hear that, Marie. When it comes to relationships, the most important ones that we have are the ones with ourselves. We have to be there for ourselves and take care of ourselves and to love ourselves. And those people that do love us, we need to embrace them even more. Let's see. Yes, something has to give. Yeah, Marie, I'm not very super familiar with astrology. I'm learning a little bit about it. I appreciate you too, my dear. Take a quick sip. Marie, my papa was a Scorpio, and I'm a Sagittarius. So what I can do is I'll pull two cards. I'll pull top and bottom, and then I do have to go. I do have to end so that I can get stuff done around the house. And before I have to head out later this afternoon, my lights are flickering when you said something has to. Oh, wow. There you go. Well, you're at that crossroads. This could be something that you can really ask Kate for help. All righty. Excuse me. All right, so Marie, let's just pull a couple of cards. Honey, I don't do third-party love readings like that. I'm just going to pull a couple of cards, and let's see if that may be there may be an answer for you. Let's see. Did Olivia Rose pop in to say hi? So, like I said, I will just pull cards, and you'll get a message, and we'll see how that works. I don't do timings. I don't do, because third parties represent going into other people's energy and things. So, like I always tell people, we have to love ourselves first before really. Some people, it's hard. We have to really learn to love ourselves before we can be in a true relationship. Because once we truly love ourselves, and we have the people around us that reflect that onto us, we will attract the right people into our lives. And that's all I will say on that. Why would Olivia Rose pop in? I don't know her, Roman. Oh, you chat with Olivia. Oh my God. I would love if she would ever want to join me and talk about her decks. Okay. So let's see. Marie, you got the top card was what's is consciously there, that we can see, it's conscious. You got the Two of Wands, and the Two of Wands is about having to plan and strategize. Planning is about setting goals and making the plans to be able to achieve them. So the wands are about also willpower, manifestation. Um, it's that it's our own personal power that we wield to make things happen, but we have to do it to make things happen for ourselves, not anybody else. So with the two wands, it's looking at options, making a decision, and going with where you are where you are inspired to go. The Ace of Wands is about, that inspiration coming from spirit. The Two of Wands is us taking that inspiration and that gift, and it's up to us how we are going to use it, what we're going to create. And with the Two of Wands, that's about making decisions, having to sit within our own personal power and understanding um, where we are right now in life, what we need to do, and knowing that our own power needs to be protected and respected at all costs. In her arms, it's kind of, you see, like typically it's like the world. So the world is, in your hands. There's this beautiful card about exploration and creativity and exploring new ideas, places, and people. So this is the overall energy on the top. The bottom card is the High Priestess, and the High Priestess is about trusting your intuition, listening to your gut. It's about connecting with that divine feminine that's within us, embracing her, loving her, and accepting her for who she is, and not allowing people who do not respect that energy, or respecting our energy and how we feel. She's the one that communicates. She's got that book of wisdom. So you have the wisdom, you have the knowledge within yourself, and to tap into that intuition and listen to that intuition and to connect with your higher power, whoever she may be. Okay. Um, let's see what Olivia had to say about the card. I like looking at what the authors write. Um, Besides just the basic information, I love the insight from other writers and artists. And so let's see what she can add to this here. Okay, so this is about this again, reflecting on your spirituality, Marie, knowing what is for your highest good and connecting with that intuition within yourself and knowing that. And there's this beautiful, deep yearning for knowledge. I know you want to know this about your relationship, but right now, the deeper relationship I'm feeling like being drawn to is the relationship that you have with yourself, with your intuition, and being able to trust that. Because once we get um, connected and bonded to our intuition, and we're open to our higher power, our higher selves, we're able to sense and feel more clearly. We'll know when people say something or do something. Sometimes you're not sure what their actions. When our intuition, we will know it. Internally, we will have that feeling. We will know that sensation of where truth is coming from because we tap in and we trust that higher intuition. The card is also again about alignment and deeper knowing of your innermost self. So all those answers are within you. And again, like I said, I don't do third party, but you have to look for these answers within you. They're in you, Marie. Um, so that's what I have for you. I hope that helps. And I see pointy arrows coming up here. So let me, wait a minute, what? Wait a minute, is Olivia Rose here? Oh, oh my God. Hi, Olivia. I just got your deck yesterday. Oh my God, honey, it is beautiful. I was telling people my taste in art is changing with the eyes. It was just like, for some reason, mostly eyes in the artwork kind of like unnerved me. But when I saw your eyes, it took me back to the time when I was in my, my early 20s, and I was starting to learn how to paint and do my own art. And I was always fascinated by eyes, and I would do these these paintings with just single eyes all in them. And I just happened to come being at a store and saw your deck, and they had a demo out, and it was just like there's just a beautiful, like, sparkly energy to them. I'm trying to put, oh my, it's like I oh my goodness, here, let me just go down. Yes. Uh, Thank you. So Olivia Rose has a channel. So everybody, please. This is the lovely young lady right here, whose deck I just got. I can't believe this. So that's Miss Olivia that's in chat right now. She's the deck creator and writer. And being a fellow artist, congratulations, Olivia, on on your decks and being able to bring them to life. At some point, I would like to get the Mermaid's Purse. We'll see. Right now, it's kind of like a little bit here, a little bit there, but oh my God, it's an honor. Thank you for popping in. I would love to have you join me sometime for a show if you do things like that. I know not maybe every deck creator or artist is up for things like that, but if you ever want to come on and talk about your deck and share your experiences, your history, your journey, especially as an artist, me being a fellow artist myself, I love having conversations with other artists, especially here on my channel. Yes, her Oracle deck. Yes, at some point. And Jonathan Daly also was shared some pictures from privately with me from your other deck. I'm new to you, so but yeah, I'm rambling. She's not saying anything. She's like, this girl's a little scary. I'm going to leave right now. But no, I really enjoy your artwork. It is absolutely stunning. The colors, everything. Um, I mean, the Hermit card is one of my favorite Hermit cards ever. It's like being within the womb, going within the womb of the mother, especially this time of year, as a lot of us are going into winter and fall. We're in fall and winter, and allowing that beautiful energy within ourselves and Mother Earth to guide us. Absolutely love that. Oh my goodness. So I don't know what to say now. But no, I really enjoy, and I'm looking forward to developing. Oh, Olivia, if you're still here too, I want to let you know when I was trying to kind of like sit and connect. So I haven't done my deck interview yet with your deck, but I've been wanting to do like doing readings, tapping into energies, old masters from the past, and I felt like the cards kept calling me yesterday, to get them. And when I was sitting and looking at them, I was getting like Lemurian energy. I don't know if you connect with past civilizations like Atlantis or Lemuria, maybe even further back. I mean, they're thinking now even Göbekli Tempe is much way older than even the pyramids or what we consider Atlantis. So there's so many civilizations before, um, you know, especially those that came from the water. This just feels very much like Lemurian energy. The land, the earth, the colors. So that was an energy I picked up on. So that Knight of Swords. Yes, with the raven. Oh my goodness, I didn't realize it was a raven until I did a reading today for somebody with it. And that High Priestess. High Priestess is my favorite card in the decks. So I love that High Priestess. It's really, really beautiful. Oh, and that Judgment. Man, when she looks at you, it's just like, yeah, what? What do it's just, yeah, really beautiful. And the Six of Pentacles too, Olivia. I love this one. It just feels very like starseed Lemurian coming to Earth. I'm still even, and indigenous. I'm having very feeling like Star Nation, indigenous energy. Um, I think she left, but maybe she might be still here. Some of the other, and I love that the Hierophant is a woman in this one here, and no one's bowing down to her. And she's got the keys, right there. So she holds the keys to her own spiritual connection. And then the Empress came up several times today. Just a really beautiful card. The color palette, absolutely gorgeous. Um, the Fool, too, is beautiful. Almost gypsy like energy, vintage. So, yeah, I'm really looking forward to. And with this Page of Pentacles, also with the slanted forehead, them talking about, how some of the early cultures, shaped their heads this way to be connected to the gods. And they're thinking that a lot of it's because of our extraterrestrial ancestors that had that same shape, and to reflect and connect to, who they saw and to what they felt were their gods. They did that too as well with their heads. So, and the hangman or the hanged woman, really, really beautiful. The death card also. It's a little hard to see the skull, but I absolutely love this death card. Oh, and another one I wanted to share, what I love about is the Six of Swords. And the Six of Swords typically shows somebody else pushing, you know, the huddled mass across the water. But in this card, she's taking that oar in her own hands. She's not relying on somebody else to do the crossing across, doing the crossing for her, but she's actually physically getting herself in the boat, and she's pushing herself. She's getting herself across. So I love that card of self empowerment, knowing that we have the mental fortitude, um, and resiliency to be able to get ourselves across those rough waters as well. Um, so yeah, I think she had to go. But thank you for popping in, Olivia. Such a pleasure, such an honor for you to pop in and say hi. Man, Roman, you're connected, huh? And the Tower card. Another one I want to share is the Tower card. Is that, it usually shows like lightning coming down and knocking the people out of the tower, but this is us knowing that this tower is no longer good. We set fire, we're in the process of destructing it because it's ours, and we're going to rebuild it. So we're taking again that power into our own hands to destroy and tear apart what no longer serves us, and asks us to rebuild. As I was saying that, what song popped in my head? That song "Sonny Came Home" by Sean Colvin, where she took a pack of matches, and lit the house on fire, burned it, watched it burn to the ground, and so she came home, with a vengeance, and just burned the old life away, and in place of that burned house is going to be a new one. So yeah, taking the power into your hands and tearing down and rebuilding on your own. So just really beautiful temperance card. I love the red wings. Roman is amazing. So yeah, I think she left, but it's just amazing. Hopefully, maybe she'll reach out. I would love to talk about art and the cards and artwork with another fellow artist. The last time I did something like that was with Sasha Graham on Jackie's channel, when she invited Sasha on. This was about a year ago, a year and a half ago or so. But we got to hang out with Sasha Graham as well, and that was very cool. Two of Cups, beautiful. And the Seven of Cups, I love how they to me, they make me think of singing bowls. Having to make choices, decisions, and then each of the singing bowls has a different tone to it. A, B, C, D. We had the crystal bowls at the store I worked at. And yeah, it makes me think of what bowl, what vibration do I want to choose, bring into being at this time. So, but yeah. Oh, and that beautiful six of cups. I love that. So, but yay. Oh, and the lovers. Look at the colors in the lovers. Very, very nice. She is in the UK. She may have more time later. So, but wow, I did not see that coming. So, wow. Can't believe it's been almost 2 hours already. I'm starting to feel it. My throat's, my voice is leaving me, and I'm getting that kind of like lightheaded here. But yes, the illustrations are beautiful. Wait, I'll tell you this reads. Oh, thank you. And yes, whoops, there we go. The illustrations are beautiful. Yeah, he's amazing. He's all right. He's a keeper, huh, Selena? Whether he's showered or unshowered. Fan here too of all of you. Oh, you're so sweet. Oh. Anyway, 11 p.m. Yeah, it's late. So, okay. Well, Heather's losing her voice, even though she's got her sips here. Ooh, I'm a little dry. Other way we have him, you know. Yeah, he's a keeper. So I know you're reading from her guidebook when you could have asked her. Well, I didn't. I try to avoid chat because if I get too much in a chat, then I get distracted and I lose my train of thought. So I wanted to go through and finish, and then I was seeing arrows, and I'm like, Heather, don't look, just because I didn't want to get. But then when I did, I saw that she had been here, so very honored. That was very, very cool. So who knows? Maybe maybe she can do an interview someday. That would be great. It was nice of her to stop by. It sure was. So, and it was awesome that you all stopped by too and hung out with me today and helped me celebrate my new deck. And yeah, so while Roman is here, Roman will be joining me again this Friday for another Friday night sidekick. And today's Wednesday, so I'll probably do another pop up tomorrow. I have so many decks and things that I'm getting, and I want to start working with again. So I have time now to relax and start sharing some of the knowledge I learned from my workshop over the weekend. 2-day intensive, let me tell you. And so thank goodness we're getting the book, the sheets, the PowerPoint notes sent to us. So very excited about that. Because that was a lot of information especially with me with astrology. After a certain point, the brain starts to melt. So, and it was totally different too from, it's not real sky, it's not true Western. It's just looking at the 7 heavenly bodies that affect us the most. They're called whole house or whole sign natal chart. So that was very interesting. Oh dear, then I really need to take a shower. Should be taking one every day. But yes, it was a pleasure for her to take the time out to stop by and pop in and say hi. So again, everybody, thank you for being here. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and we will talk later. Bye bye.